What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Eric, and today I'm going to give my more thorough review of John Wick Chapter 4, which I just checked out last night and really freaking enjoyed it. I'm going to keep this non-spoiler until I give you a warning. I will tell you when I'm going to get into some spoilery material and some straight up spoilers. I will let you know. Starting with complete non-spoilers. Really enjoyed this movie. Love this franchise. Love the lore, the world building and everything. It's just awesome. It's like nothing else. I mean, this is a really unique franchise that just came out of nowhere with that first movie. The first movie was insane. The second movie ramped up the action even more. The third movie even more. And this one I'm watching like, how do you even do that? Is it CGI? I don't know how you make this movie without seriously hurting people. I mean, it's just insane. Not just the gunfire and the gunshots and the heads getting blown off, but I mean, people are getting crushed by cars, flipping over in the air several times. I mean, it looks genuine, it looks real, and the action is unbelievable in this movie. Absolutely awesome. I will touch on how it goes a little overboard with my negatives at times, but just general review of the action, hell yes. That's what you come to a John Wick movie for, but you also want a good story, as in any movie, and I think this one has it. With John Wick, he is trying to get the hell out of the life. He's trying to find a loophole with the high table and how he can do that, even though there's this price on his head that keeps going up and up, 20 million, 25 million, 30 million, 40 million. I mean, everyone's trying to kill this man. And he wants the hell out of this life. He wants to go back to the original John Wick at the beginning, when he was just driving around his car and doing his thing. It was all good. Life was just great until he got pulled back in to this life in the original film. And ever since then, it's just been hell. It's been a disaster. He wants the hell out. So that's what this movie's about. You know, his last ditch effort to get the hell out of this life at any cost. And he has to put some of his friends in jeopardy, some of his friends' families in jeopardy by trying to find asylum, by trying to find any way to stay alive, which is your instinct. You want to stay alive. He's not like he's just going to kill himself. He needs to stay alive, and he's trying to accomplish what he wants. He wants out. He just wants out. That's all he wants. A lot of people are going to die in the process, but he wants the hell out. And that is what this film is all about. And it's just awesome. I love the cast. Lawrence Fishburne is back. He is amazing. A lot of new faces are all kick ass in this movie. The story progresses very nicely. I think it's paced fairly well. And just love it. Love every minute of this film as far as all of that goes, as far as the storyline and the action. Well, maybe not every minute because we have some negatives that I'm going to briefly touch on now, but I just want to say overall, really enjoyed it. And I think it's a worthy entry into the franchise for sure. Having said that, there are some issues I have. The first one, I think, even though, yes, this has been a theme throughout this franchise, obviously John Wick, he has to be very lucky at this point. He should have probably been killed or seriously hurt by this point, all the stuff he's been through. He is a beast, don't get it wrong. Very difficult to hurt this man, obviously. But when you have everyone and their mom and their dog literally going after this dude, trying to take this guy out, it becomes like unlikely that he can continue to survive. And in this movie, unlike some of the others, I felt like in this movie, I called bullshit a few times. In some of the other films, John Wick, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, yes, there are points where he's just taking out one dude after the other. That's part of this franchise, of course. But I feel like just the way the rooms are organized, just the way the hallways and everything where he's maneuvering, and it feels more natural and possible that he's able to defend himself, not get seriously hurt, and keep on moving on and keep on fighting and keep on taking dudes out. In this film, there are moments, not all the time, there are moments where it's like completely open space, 30 dudes got guns firing at him. It's like, okay, man, you're getting hit. This ain't the Matrix, okay? You ain't Neo. You're getting hit. I mean, you are Neo, but not in this movie. So it's like, you're gonna get hit, man. You're gonna die. This dude's getting run over by trucks. He's getting smashed at points. He's in cars where he's driving and another car goes, boom, just takes him out. And the dude just keeps on trucking on. Not only does he keep on moving, but he is moving with very, very quick hands, quick legs, quick feet. Everything is top notch. You know, there are times when you can see he's hurt bad, but And it doesn't take much long. It doesn't take very long before he's back on his feet and kicking ass again. And I just felt the plot armor in this movie. And if I'm going to call out movies like Scream 6, which I did and have, then I have to be consistent, even if it's a franchise I love and a movie I love. If the plot armor is ridiculous, I'm going to say it. And this movie, the plot armor, I mean, people next to me who I don't know were laughing like, oh my God, this dude would be dead. What? Yes, it absolutely. I have to call that out. I think you want to take it to as badass as this dude can be without making it ridiculous, because he is a man after all. He's a human being. And when there's 20 dudes with guns firing at you, I mean, well, these are the worst marksmen in the history of the planet. If they can't hit this guy, I mean, please, I'm sorry. They could just be randomly firing and he's still going to get hit. And so I have to point that out. That aside, there's something at the end, just the way the movie kind of wraps up, that I don't love. I can't get specific without spoiling it. But that's pretty much it. Keanu Reeves acting, I thought his line delivery in this movie, and he's not known for great line delivery. He's not known for his acting. As far as the fighting and everything was on point. So his facial expressions is on point. Just some of his line delivery in this one, I thought was even weaker than normal. Just didn't think it was that great at times. But the rest of the cast all were really awesome. Not that Keanu Reeves wasn't awesome. Of course he was. I'm just saying some of that line delivery that just not that great. Okay, I'm just going to be honest. I just noticed it. But love the story in this one. Love the action in this one. Totally kick-ass. Next level stuff. So fun to watch. I highly recommend it. And I definitely think this movie is freaking awesome. So there you have it. That's my non-spoiler review. I'm going to get into some spoilers now. I'm not going to go on and on. It's not going to be an in-depth spoiler thing, but we're going to get into a little more specific details about this movie, John Wick Chapter 4. So in this film, you have John Wick, who still has this price on his head, of course. He wants to exact his revenge on the high table, and he wants to get the hell out of this life. Now, first he goes and he kills the elder from John Wick Chapter 3. This is the only guy above the high table. He takes him out, and then some revenge is taken on the hotel, the entire hotel. The Continental is taken out. Winston is out. They kill the concierge, okay? Lance Reddick's character, rest in peace to Lance Reddick, who passed away recently. So rest in peace to him. Very tragic news there. He only is in the movie briefly. He is killed. His character is killed, which was really sad, but it does create stakes for the film in that you don't know who's going to go, when they're going to go, how they're going to go. Anybody can go. Anybody can go in this film, just, as you know, as we're getting into spoiler territory now. So that's the premise now, and John Wick is going to take refuge at another hotel, putting them at risk. It's found out that he's there, and now they get attacked, and a blind guy is hired to be the one mainly to take out John Wick in this movie. And it's an old friend of John named Kane, who's blind. He's retired. He doesn't want any part of this, but his daughter's life is in jeopardy if he doesn't take the job. So really cool to have this character who's blind, but he uses different ways to still be badass. And obviously, you would think, being that he's blind, that would hurt his ability. I'm sure it does to an extent, but he is so badass, it doesn't matter. And then you have another great character called Mr. Nobody, who is also tracking John. He's got a little more, he's got a dog with him. You can tell the guy's got a conscience. He doesn't just want to kill anybody, but if the price is good enough, he'll do it. And he's just trying to up that price. Otherwise, he helps John. He helps John Wick. If the price ain't there, if the price is right, he's trying to whack John Wick. So it's an interesting addition to the film there with this character. And he's got a dog too. And that comes into play later, obviously, because of John Wick's history with dogs. And he's got a soft spot for dogs. Really cool that they add that. They don't shove it in your face in the first movie and anything. You have to know the lore. It's just very subtle there. It's there though. And you know later in the film why John Wick gets on this guy's good side, because he's got a little soft spot for dogs and he shows that in an awesome way. And we're in spoilers now, so you probably know what I'm talking about, but really love that about the film, and that character is awesome too. So you have these new characters, and that's just wanted to touch on some of those characters didn't want to talk about them too much in the non-spoiler area, but getting into spoilers, those are our two characters really awesome. And there's also this villain. He's a senior on the high table, and he's like dealing cards, just a crazy character, a big guy. He is also very skilled, and John Wick has to take him out so that John Wick can join a family, that he has to join a family officially and get a seal so that he can use this loophole and create this duel so that if he wins the duel, he can finally go the freak home and get out of this life. So everything leads to another thing, trying to get back in the family. The woman who's part of the family says she'll take John only if John Wick will whack the dude that killed her father, which is this guy, this German. And so he's got to take him out. And that creates just an amazing scene. And so, I mean, just everything leads to another. The plot is very easy to follow, kick ass. It's just a great story. That's all I'm saying. The script, I love the story. Unfortunately, to get to my other negative, at the end of this movie, he does take on the blind guy in this duel where they both get this old style gun kind of, and it's just the way, you know, everything that John Wick has survived. After everything he survived, bullets flying all over the place. There's just no way. You know, getting run over by cars. I mean, his condition is, at this point in the movie, it's bad. It's got to be really bad, even though he's looking okay, considering he should be dead a million times. The guy's like a cat, freaking 9 lives. I mean, it's just insane. But John Wick taking on this guy in the duel, and obviously serious spoilers now. So if you haven't seen it, please, you know, click the hell off. You already watched too much. But this duel takes place and they stand like 30 yards away. And I just don't buy this duel. When the other guy's who's in charge of is running it, is like, fire! And then they fire, but they're very slow to bring the gun up. And it's like, this isn't your traditional duel where you know, one guy makes a move, the other, whoever's quicker and more accurate is going to win the duel. He would say fire, and they would both kind of slowly bring out the guns and fire, and neither one would be killed. They'd both be kind of clipped a little bit, and then they'd come a little bit closer. They'd do it again. Oh, they'd get hit, maybe a little worse, but still not quite fatal yet. Then they'd come a little bit closer. And, you know, it just was like, these two guys are supposed to be the highest skill. I mean, what are these? These guns ain't very well calibrated or something. I mean, you'd think the first shot would be bam, point blank in the head, especially from John Wick. I mean, why is John Wick missing this guy? Why is this guy missing John Wick, for that matter? Because he's blind, I guess. But still, it's just kind of weird. And ultimately, there's a little bit of a twist there when John Wick gets hit on the third try, goes down. And he didn't actually fire his gun. And it leads to, you know, the way the film ends was the villain, who's basically the guy that John Wick is supposed to kill, but he hires the blind guy, the villain, who I forgot his name, French guy, comes out, and John Wick blows his brains out. And John Wick is free. The blind guy's free to go back to his daughter. But John Wick is seriously, mortally wounded, and appears to just die here on the steps trying to go down. It's a pretty cool death. Assuming it's a death, there could be a John Wick Chapter 5 with a new reveal that he's hiding out, or he lived and Winston helped hide him, and they put his grave and it was all fake. That's a nice setup, because you can end it here. If there's no other movies, perfect ending, but they can also try to make another one. I would hope they just would end it here. Even though I just didn't like that death, because I didn't buy that he would have died like that. After all he survived, he gets killed by a blind guy with an old gun in a duel where he only had one guy to take out. Didn't make sense. How many people he's killed who have families? How many people he's just whacked and shot brain? Dead. You know how many people he's killed? He's killed hundreds of people for his freedom. He wouldn't have just whacked this one last. I know he's an old friend, but was he trying to shoot him? Maybe I missed him. Maybe he wasn't trying to shoot him. But then he could have been killed himself. Part of the plan between the two of them, they weren't going to kill each other. I'm not really sure. Maybe I missed something. I just thought it was a pretty weak way for John Wick to go out. But then again, I mean, it's not easy to kill off your main character of the franchise. So I'm not saying I could have come up with something better. I just thought, damn, after all the shit he's gone through, after all the bullet flying over his head, he gets killed this way. He couldn't even take this guy out. I just don't know if I like John Wick dying like that. Like, that's how John Wick dies. A blind dude whacked him. got it. So it didn't really, I don't know. Maybe I just got to watch it again. It's just for now, it's mixed. Not totally negative. It's mixed. I'm like, damn, that's just, I don't know if I like that. But overall, love the film, love the movie. Awesome movie. Let me know what you guys think down below in that comment section. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Make sure to hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe, and we'll talk to you next time.